ఒకే చోట ప్రతిష్ఠించు భవ్య గోపురంబులు విశ్వశాంతికై లక్ష్మీ నారాయణ క్రతువు సత్య సంకల్పులు చినజీయరు ఆశయాన వెలుగు.
A warm welcome to the Doordarshan live telecast of Sri Ramanuja Sahasrabdi Utsav from Hyderabad, Muchintal. The founder and inspirer, Sri His Highness Chinnajiyar Swamiji of this ashram, Muchintal Ramanagaram ashram, is an Indian erudic Vedic scholar. He is an eloquent speaker. Now we are seeing the statue of equality. The salient features of this statue of equality are: total height of the statue of equality is 216 feet. Total height of the statue Ramanuja 108 feet. Total height of the Bhadravedi 54 feet. Total height of Padmapitham 27 feet. Total height of Tridandam, which is on his hands, 135 feet. Number of lotus petals 54. Number of elephants under the lotus 36. Number of shankhas and chakras 36. There is an educational gallery featuring exhibits about the inspiring life story of Ramanujacharya. A library with all the Vedic scriptures. Auditorium for seminars and Pandita Sabhas. There is a Omnimax theater for different shows over there. A few reminiscences of Ramanujacharya's life will come alive through technology. In the evenings, there is a leisure show to explain these facts. Replicas of 108 Divyadeshams around Ramanujacharya Swamiji, built in stone, rich with ornate architectural detailing and accompanied with audio guidelines explaining. Now, His Highness Sri Chinnajiyar Swamiji is talking to, has received the President of India, Sri Ramnath Kovind ji, and now we are seeing the golden ditty of Sri Bhagavad Ramanujacharya. Very shortly, the President of India is going to unveil this 120 kg golden statue. Now we are seeing the audiences over there at Pravachana Mandapa. Now on the screen we are seeing the 120 kg golden ditty of Bhagavad Ramanujacharya, which is going to be shortly unveiled by the beloved President of India, Sri Ramnath Kovind ji. In these premises, replicas of 108 Divyadeshams around Ramanujacharya Swami, built in stone, rich with ornate architectural detailing and accompanied with audio guidelines explaining the history of these temples as sources of inspiration. Inside the Bharapita at 120 kg, this 120 kg golden statue Swarnamurti of Ramanujacharya Swami will evoke the mystical devotion in our hearts, outpouring in prayers. The founder and inspirer, Sri His Highness Chinnajiyar Swamiji, is an Indian Vedic scholar. He is an eloquent speaker, acclaimed nationally and internationally for his various discourses. His Highness discourses are profound, and he incorporates examples from all the subjects and walks of life, enabling common man to relate even the toughest and complex Vedic principles. He gives acquaintances of complex topics, providing it on a silver platter of any seeker to incorporate easily in one's lives. There is rarely a person who is not swayed by his simplicity of the language and enthralled by the beauty of his diction. He is a philosopher and spiritual teacher and practitioner of selfless service to mankind. He is an ambassador of peace working extensively on various welfare humanitarian projects across the globe. His Highness Janajir Swamiji is taking responsibility of giving all of us an opportunity to be thankful for Bhagavad Ramanuja, who was an exemplary Acharya by showering utmost love to all mankind. If his actions had to speak, what would get highlighted most is his humanitarian nature. What stand out are his various welfare and humanitarian projects across the globe. However, what would also be apparent is that these achievements are an outcome of his deep roots through an established lineage, embedded in profound knowledge of Vedas and Vedic rituals. Every religion has its own rituals. When the soul of a seer, his spirit, gets intensely involved in the ritual, it becomes spiritual, crossing all barriers of individual religions and reaching the realm of oneness of all beings. This is what happened to His Highness Chanajir Swamiji. To build this 1,000 crore mega project, he is the torchbearer of Sri Vaishnava tradition, and the resulting tejas of his light has penetrated through all the barriers of caste, religion, and nationality. Now, on screen, we are seeing the inside glory of this premises, the inside glory of the place where the 120 kg golden deity of Bhagavad Ramanuja is being installed. Known for being revolutionary social reformer, Ramanujacharya propagated the concept of equality. The number of individual souls being elevated by his teachings kept increasing year after year, decade after decade, century after century, 1,000 years, and still continuing. However, society the world over had completely forgotten the concept of equality. This stirred Chinajir Swamiji's soul. He could not leave the tireless efforts of Ramanujacharya towards equality in the darkness of oblivion. Future generations will reap the fruits of lineage of Acharyas through the magnificent monument representing equality of all the eyes of God. While His Highness always considers himself one amongst all of us, it is entirely evident that he is leading the road to our happiness by walking ahead and removing all the obstacles and bearing all the pains. His Highness Chinajir Swamiji is walking on the footsteps of his Acharya, Bhagavad Ramanuja, and thus making us automatically perform our duty of serving the lineage by letting us be part of his wonderful statue of equality. This project in remembrance of Sri Bhagavad Ramanuja's 1000th birth anniversary. For any favor, big or small, you say thank you, either by words or by actions. Imagine the love showered by the Bhagavad Ramanuja, who has fought for the equality of all of us in front of the ultimate Savior God. How thankful should we be? His Highness Sri Tridandi Ramanuja Chinajir Swami asks this question to himself and asks all of us to pose it to ourselves. His Highness shows a magnificent way to be thankful to that great Acharya, Bhagavad Ramanuja. So, along with His Highness, let's together create history through this statue of equality and submit ourselves to the service of our Acharya. On 5th February, our beloved Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, has unveiled the big statue of equality here at Ramanagaram, Muchintal, Hyderabad, Telangana. It is a 1,000 crore beautiful project, mega project. Now we are seeing the big ditty of equality of Bhagavad Ramanujacharya. In this beautiful premises, there is a Mukhamandapam along with all those amenities, a common corridor for 108 Divya Deshas, main entrance with baggage drop and pickup, security check and finding the identity. Elevators, wheelchairs are available and on the four sides of Bharapeetham to reach the divine lotus feet of Ramanuja. Food courts with meals and other amenities, rooms for rest, change and freshen up. Each and everything, a minute detail also, is taken care in these premises. Sri Tridandi Chana Sri Ramanuja Jiyar Swamiji belongs to a highly esteemed line of monks of the followers of Sri Ramanujacharya called Jiyars, ever cheerful, ceaselessly active, unmindful of his bodily comforts, but always concerned about the others' welfare. Chinnajiyar Swamiji radiates hope and joy wherever he goes. His Highness Chinnajiyar Swamiji, India's enlightened spiritual and humanitarian leader, incessantly strives hard to promote world peace and harmony through the propagation of Vedic wisdom, spiritual practices, religious tolerance, non-violence, joy of sharing, and mutual respect for all living beings. Chinnajiyar's vision is to empower the empowered. Chinnajiyar's vision is to empower the impoverished communities across the world to have equal access and opportunities to quality of education, healthcare, and self-confidence, to live a life filled with dignity and pride, to promote harmony and peace following two principles. An Acharya is the one who practices first and then preaches. Our beloved His Highness Sri Swamiji exemplifies this. He is a saint with deep intellectual and spiritual sensitivity, an embodiment of rare virtues. He is an epitome of boundless love for all beings. All his activities show his deep concern and compassion for the society, which to a large degree lacks real spiritual dimension. Any devotee can observe excellence in all aspects of his living, right from Swamiji's pristine appearance, his refined way of speech, the affection with Swamiji addresses people in general, the lucidity and potency in his speech that can uproot ignorance in the receptive, all of us can be conceptually observed and learned from. At the same time, he is the embodiment of detachment and renunciation. He is beyond an influence. He is beyond any influence of the material world, and his qualities, gunas, his presence provides a strange feeling of divine happiness and peace in everyone around.
ముక్తి నొందే దారి శరణముగ తెలిపే ఆదిదేవుని దూత రామానుజా, ఆకాశమంతటి ఖ్యాతి గడించిన నారాయణుని అంశ రామానుజా, వేద సారాంశం దేవతారాధ్యం వివరముగ తెలిపిన ప్రకృతి సమూహం సృష్టి ఆధారమని తెలిపే సత్యం. రామానుజ శ్రీ రామానుజ రామానుజాచార్య రామానుజ రామానుజ శ్రీ రామానుజ రామానుజాచార్య రామానుజ రామానుజ శ్రీ రామానుజ రామానుజాచార్య రామానుజ. కాంతిమతి కేశవులయే జన్మ పుణ్యము జనించే వారింట రామానుజ. కాంతిమతి కేశవులయే జన్మ పుణ్యము జనించే వారింట రామానుజ. భగవంతుడే భువికి దిగి వచ్చినాడో నిలువెత్తు రూపాన రామానుజ. రామానుజ శ్రీ రామానుజ రామానుజాచార్య రామానుజ. కాంతిమతి కేశవులయే జన్మ పుణ్యము జనించే వారింట రామానుజ. విశిష్ట అద్వైత సిద్ధాంతమే చాటి అష్టాక్షరి మహిమ చూపించెను. చక్షుతో విచక్షణను జనులకందించి ధర్మాన్ని ధరలోన తరింపజేసే రామానుజ శ్రీ రామానుజ రామానుజాచార్య రామానుజ. భక్తి భావమునే చిగురింపజేసి కరింపజేసావు రామానుజ. తిరుమంత్రసారం భగవత్ ప్రసాదం జనులకందించావు రామానుజ. నయనారవిందం కమనీయ తేజం నుదుట మెరిసే నామమే విష్ణు రూపం. దండము త్రిదండమును ఎల్ల వేళల్లో కరమునే ధరించి నడిచినావే రామానుజ శ్రీ రామానుజ రామానుజాచార్య రామానుజ రామానుజ శ్రీ రామానుజ రామానుజాచార్య రామానుజ.
రామానుజాచార్య నారాయణ రామానుజాచార్య నారాయణ.
ముక్తి నొందే దారి సరళముగా తెలిపే ఆదిదేవుని దూత రామానుజ. ఆకాశమంతటి ఖ్యాతి గడించిన నారాయణుని అంశ రామానుజ. వేద సారాంశం దేవతారాధ్యం వివరముగా తెలిపిన గురువర్యవే. జీవాత్మ పరమాత్మ ప్రకృతి ప్రకృతి సమూహం సృష్టి ఆధారమని తెలిపే సత్యం రామానుజ శ్రీ రామానుజ రామానుజాచార్య రామానుజ రామానుజ శ్రీ రామానుజ రామానుజాచార్య రామానుజ రామానుజ శ్రీ రామానుజ రామానుజాచార్య రామానుజ.
భగవంతుని మొగసాలను జగమంతా ఒకటేనని అంతటి రంగని చేర్చగా అంతరంగమే చాలని ఓ భగవంతుని మొగసాలను జగమంతా ఒకటేనని అంతటి రంగని చేర్చగా అంతరంగమే చాలని మందిలోని హృదయ మందిరం తెరిచే మంత్రము నియతి రాజై నుతులందిన ఆచార్యుని అవతరణం మందిలోని హృదయ మందిరం తెరిచే మంత్రము నియతి రాజై నుతులందిన ఆచార్యుని అవతరణం శ్రీ వైష్ణవ సైద్ధాంతిక నిజ తత్వావిష్కరణం అదిగో అదిగో శ్రీరామానుజ ఘన గుణ గణ జయధ్వజం వినరో ప్రతి గుండె సడిగా ఆరపరదానుక్షణం జై జై రామానుజ జై 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 జయ హో రామానుజ జై 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 రామానుజ జై 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 జయ హో రామానుజ జై 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 జై. పరాత్పరుని విస్మరించి పరాకులో విశ్రమించి నరకాశయమైన ధరిని చెరవిడ హరిదారి నుంచి పరాత్పరుని విస్మరించి పరాకులో విశ్రమించి నరకాశయమైన ధరిని చెరవిడ హరిదారి నుంచి పరాకుసులు ప్రసాదించు పాసుర భావముగాంచి శ్రీరంగని ఆనతిగా ఆధ్యాత్మిక విధి వహించి పరాకుసులు ప్రసాదించు పాసుర భావముగాంచి శ్రీరంగని ఆనతిగా ఆధ్యాత్మిక విధి వహించి ఉడయవరుల నామంతో సాగే ధర్మోద్ధరణం అడిగో అదిగో శ్రీరామానుజ ఘన గుణ గణ జయధ్వజం వినరో ప్రతి గుండె సడిగ ఆరెపరెప అనుక్షణం అదిగో శ్రీరామానుజ ఘన గుణ గణ జయధ్వజం వినరో ప్రతి గుండె సడిగ ఆరెపరెప అనుక్షణం వైకుంఠం విడిచి మహిని నడయాడిన శేషువే విశ్వ ప్రేమయే మతమనే వెయ్యేళ్లకు పూర్వమే శ్రీమన్నారాయణీయ చిదానందలాశమై బోధాయన బుధ విధాన బ్రహ్మసూత్ర భాషమై శ్రీమన్నారాయణీయ చిదానందలాశమై బోధాయన బుధ విధాన బ్రహ్మసూత్ర భాషమై అదిగో శ్రీరామానుజ ఘన గుణ గణ జయధ్వజం వినరో ప్రతి గుండె సడిగ ఆరెపరెప అనుక్షణం జై జై రామానుజ జై 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 జయ హో రామానుజ జై 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 రామానుజ జై 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 జయ హో రామానుజ జై 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 రామానుజ జై 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 జయ హో రామానుజ జై 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 రామానుజ జై 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 జై
ప్రకృతి సమూహం సృష్టి ఆధారమని తెలిపే సత్యం రామానుజ శ్రీ రామానుజ రామానుజాచార్య రామానుజ రామానుజ శ్రీ రామానుజ రామానుజాచార్య రామానుజ రామానుజ శ్రీ రామానుజ రామానుజాచార్య రామానుజ.
స్వాగతమిది దేశ దేశ భక్తులకి ఆధ్యాత్మిక వేత్తలకి నేతలకి స్వాగతం శుభ స్వాగతం స్వాగతం.
Once again, warm welcome to the Doordarshan live telecast of Sri Ramanja Sahasrabdi Utsav from Hyderabad Muchintal, Ramanagaram. Now, just we have seen the golden deity, 120 kg golden deity of Bhagavad Ramanujacharya over there in the premises of Ramanagaram. The inspirer and founder Swamiji, Chinnajiyar Swamiji, wants to include our people, young and old, awareness of our heritage. He is always on the move, most of the time meeting people and listening to their worldly and spiritual problems. Now we are seeing the replica of the Bhagavad Ramanujacharya's statue of equality over there near Yagashala, Yagamandapam. In this premises, devotees get relief by just looking at his radiant, ever-smiling face. His compassionate look cleanses our mind and raises our consciousness from the mundane to the divine. Blessed are those who have come under the influence of the revered Swamiji. Established Vedic University and schools within India in 1983, Swamiji has established a Vedic University. His Highness Tridandi Chinnaramanuja Swamiji has conducted innumerable Vedic rituals, yajnas and homas for humanity's prosperity and welfare. He has enlisted youngsters to propagate the message of Sri Ramanuja and has given discourses on variety of subjects. He has rendered mass peace prayer programs in the time of great terror and turbulence in northwestern parts of India. His Highness held a walk at turn with the Vedic chants which restored a peaceful ambience. He emphasized the efficacy of chanting God's names and made people to recite Sri Vishnu Sahasranamas. Now, on screen, we are seeing our beloved His Highness Chinnajiyar Swamiji and Sri Dr. J. Rameshwarrao Garu is walking along with our beloved President of India, Sri Ramnath Kovind ji. We can see the Tamil Nadu the Telangana Governor, Sri Tamilisai ji, also with them. Now, the President gone over there to near to the 120 kg golden deity. Now he is unveiling this 120 kg Bhagavad Ramanuja's golden statue. We are blessed to see this wonderful moment. We can see the beautiful smile of the Bhagavad Ramanuja. We can feel the bliss of Bhagavad Ramanuja. How beautiful this golden deity is. It has been made up by 120 kgs gold. The statue of equality is being unveiled by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and this gold entity today at this moment is being unveiled by our beloved President of India, Sri Ramnath Kovind ji, our beloved His Highness Sri Now we are seeing the gold entity is being offered prayers by the President of India, Sri Ramnath Kovind ji, the Governor of the state of Telangana, Sri Tamilisai ji, and our beloved His Highness Chinnajiyar Swamiji is now explaining the speciality and details of this 120 kg Bhagavad Ramanuja's ditty. Now we can see Swamiji is elaboratedly explaining them the thought of equality, the spirit of equality, and the reason to establish this 1000 crore worth project, divine project, great project, esteemed project. Now we are seeing Dr. J. Rameshwarao Garu along with our beloved His Highness Sri Tridandi Chinnaramanuja G.R. Swami over there in the premises. Sri Ramnath Kovind ji is offering his prayers and taking blessings from His Highness Sri Chinnajiyar Swamiji. Now we are seeing that in this current world, the geopolitical harmony is in a state of flux, where people live amidst multitude of challenges, including fear of war, political strife, poverty, global warming, endangered environment, depleting natural resources, and religious fundamentalism. His Highness incessantly works to promote the world peace and harmony through the propagation of yoga, meditation, spiritual and ancient wisdom. These enable human body, mind and soul to develop tolerance, joy of sharing, non-violence, attitude of gratitude towards environment, towards the God, and mutual respect for all living beings. To achieve the state of equality among us, His Highness is being inspired by the divine teachings and lineage of Bhagavad Ramanuja. now established this huge statue of equality and this 120 kg golden deity of Bhagavad Ramanuja for the welfare of this mankind, for the equality of this mankind. Now we are seeing on screen that Sri Ramnath Kovind ji have unveiled the Shila Palaka.